Page 9, Crunchy Flakes. We're in C position, where the bottom note's C and the other hand fingers are doing their thing there, okay? But we're back to 4/4 time, so we're going to count to 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that. We're still counting quarter notes, not a problem. The bottom of the page, they're talking about the metronome. A metronome is a big, long, fancy word. Basically is a timekeeper. This thing I have on the piano is a metronome. There's different kinds of metronomes. A lot of them click, they make noises, and this one does too. If I turn it on and get it going, I can make it click. So it clicks. And usually when I'm practicing, that's how I have it. I listen for the clicks because I'm too busy reading the music to try and look at the lights going up and down. I've never seen another metronome. I'm sure there are some, but I've never seen one that has lights that go up and down like this one. Usually it's just a flashing light. I have another metronome here somewhere that I use quite a bit. This little thing, and if you turn it on, you can see it clicks, and there's a little flashing light also. I don't pay any attention to the light. It's the clicks I'm listening to. But if it's a situation where I don't want to hear the clicks, then I can also turn it where all it does is flash a light without the clicks. These are very common and they don't cost very much. If you get them online, in fact, if it's still up, I put a link to this type of metronome on my Amazon page. The links are in the description or whatever. You can go there and find it. You don't have to click the add to cart button right there. You can click on the metronome thing itself and it'll take you to an Amazon page that it'll list different places where you can buy it. Where you don't have to buy it from, I'm not recommending you buy it from any one store. I'm just telling you, here it is in Amazon, do your thing, whatever. I have several metronomes. In fact, there are metronome apps for smartphones and I have a couple of those too. You never know when you can use an extra metronome. Now what I like to do when I'm practicing the scales, and we'll get into that later, is I like to use a drum machine. A drum machine is similar to a metronome, except it has pre-recorded trap set on 4/4 or whatever it is. And so when I'm playing scales, I like to play to the drums rather than just a click, click, click to a metronome. I think that's more fun. So if you have a drum machine around, or if you're on an electronic piano and it has a rhythm thing on it, turn on the drums and at the speed you want and use those as your metronome. It works great, it really does. Now in music, the past pieces have had it too. I haven't said anything, but now that we're talking about metronome, I will say it. At the top, above the top staff, there is an MM, stands for metronome, and it tells you how fast they think the piece should go. Don't get hard and fast. The music says it's got to go this fast. No, the music doesn't say anything's got to go this fast. The music is suggesting this is how fast you might take it. Some composers put it in what they think it should be. It's up to the composer. In my opinion, I'm going to play it how I think it should be, and it'll be relatively close to what the composer said. Well, sometimes they give you a range of how fast or slow, and that's what they're doing in this book. You got two numbers, 66 and a 120. Well, that means play it somewhere between 66 and 120 on the metronome. It's up to you how fast. Now, if you're going to sing it, how fast do you want to sing it? And that's how fast you'd play it. I'm not into singing. I used to be, not anymore, so I ain't singing it, but you're welcome to sing these things all you want to. Doesn't matter to me, I can't hear you. So that's what the metronome's all about. There is one symbol in here that I would like to talk about. Now we've talked about the phrase, the curved line there. We've talked about the tie, which is a curved line too. It could be above or below. The phrase marking can be above or below. The tie is above. It's not important of whether it's above or below. Don't get confused on that. You say, well, these are above, so it must be that. No, it's not how it works. It's a phrase is a musical sentence. A tie ties two notes together. And in a tie, you can only have two notes. You can only tie two notes at a time. And the notes have to be the same pitch. They can't change notes. Well, if you look at this piece in the second line, last measure in the right hand, you have a D and a G, and there's like a tie. It's not a tie, and it's not a phrase. Now it's called a slur. It means you slur them or you connect them. You play the G and lift up on the D at the same time. So there's no break in the sound between them. So you say, what? We're connecting them anyway. I mean, I can't connect the same note on a piano. The piano won't let me. But I try and get as close as I can. I don't want any more silence between the notes than I have to have. So I'm playing them all connected anyway. There's no phrases in this piece. Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to tell you. It has to do with singing, with the words. You're singing the word to. And this is simply telling you, as you're singing it, to keep the to going and just change the pitch to type thing. So that slur is more for the voice than the piano. Because if you look, go down one line directly, or the next two lines down in the left hand, you got two notes there. Or the last line, you're going to connect them. You're going to play in the same way as if they're slurred. But the point is, in the singing, the singing is playing in the right hand and it's one note. It's just playing one note for the whole measure. So it doesn't need a slur. Get a load of all that. I will talk about these more in the future because I know they're confusing. So let's try this out. I'll give us 4 counts and we will play it together. So you put your hands in C position. And I want to remind you, learn the names of the notes. Don't be reading finger numbers. We're using finger numbers only to give us an idea where to start. You shouldn't need any more finger numbers. They give you more finger numbers occasionally, but you don't need them. You should know what the notes are. I'm going to give us 4 counts and we'll play it together slowly. I'm not going to 66 to 120. We're going to go slow. I'm not trying to perform it. I just want you to hear the notes and play with me. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off.